NAFTA has a little-known clause that carries a huge climate impact. It's called the Energy Proportionality Rule. Never heard of it? You're not alone. Most Canadians haven't either. I'm Gordon Laxer, political economy professor and founding director of Parkland Institute at the University of Alberta and author of After the Sands, Energy and Ecological Security for Canadians. NAFTA's proportionality rule was written in the 1980s. The rule says that Canada must export to the United States the same proportion of its energy output as in the last 3 years. That's 3/4 of our oil and over half of our natural gas. This means Canada cannot respond to an emergency like a Mideast war that causes international oil shortages and leaves Eastern Canadians without the oil imports they depend on. Canada is currently in NAFTA renegotiations with the United States and Mexico. If the proportionality rule makes it into NAFTA 2.0, it will hamstring Canada's ability to sharply reduce carbon emissions between now and 2050. Those are the conclusions of the NAFTA 2.0 report I co-wrote with leading political economists in the United States and Mexico for the Council of Canadians, the Sierra Club US, and Greenpeace Mexico. Our original research and analysis shows that if Canada does not exit energy proportionality, the proportionality rule will lock in an extra 1,488 more megatons of carbon pollution from Canada. The cumulative NAFTA carbon pollution penalty is 12 times greater than Canada's annual G8 2050 climate target. Proportionality prevents Canada from lowering the dirtiest oil and gas in the export mix. NAFTA Clause 605 says that an exporter cannot disrupt, quote, normal channels of supply or normal proportions among specific energy goods by, for example, substituting conventional, less carbon polluting oil for bitumen, the tar-like oil in Alberta's oil sands. Bitumen is some of the world's most carbon-intensive oil and the most environmentally damaging oil. Proportionality also locks Canada into producing and exporting fracked gas that can emit more greenhouse gases than coal. A climate-friendly alternative would be for Canada to phase out production of oil and gas for export by 2030 or 2040, and to use Canadian conventional oil and gas as transition fuels to get us to a low-carbon future by mid-century. Mexico demanded and got an exemption from the Energy Proportionality Rule in 1994 and is a full member of NAFTA. Canada must demand the same exemption in 2018. You can take action to free Canada from the outdated proportionality trap that was dealt us in the 1980s. Go to the Council of Canadians website to see the NAFTA 2.0 report and the Escaping Mandatory Oil Exports report that I researched for the Council. You can also take action by contacting Chrystia Freeland, Canada's Minister of Foreign Affairs, and Catherine McKenna, Canada's Environment Minister. Canada must go proportionality-free to make the transition to a low-carbon future like other countries are making today. If we don't, other countries may stop buying our energy resources and we may sink into a fossil fuel backwater. Instead, we can make Canada a climate-friendly leader.